What's going on, my friends? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. Those are three we're going to get into today, and we're going to be looking at them on the one-day time frame here. And then after we get through the technical analysis, we're also going to look at GLASSNODE. So we're going to look at some of the addresses behind the scenes and what they're doing at this critical area. So if you get some from this video, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It's always appreciated, and let's dig into this. So first of all, one thing I want to point out here, guys, I'm glad Bitcoin's getting a nice little bounce here. That's good. You know, it came on about average volume. So what we had here in some of the bullish cases, guys, I'll start with that, then I'll get into the bearish case. So some of the bullish things that we have going for us here, this is a bullish engulfing candle right here. So that's a really nice candle to have. Came on about average volume. I would have liked to see it more on a candle something, or a volume candle, something along the lines of this. But for here is about average volume. So what we're looking for now is to see if we can get that follow through and then set a higher low before we eventually try to push up and see if we can get through that 50 moving average and have a daily candle close up above that. That's going to be at around $35,000. All right, so that's the bullish case that we continue to keep. This nice bullish engulfing candle, that's what pushes us to the upside here. We have increased volume as we try to cross over this 50 mark here on the relative strength. All right, but something that we have to be aware of, okay, number one, you can see this is stalling out a little bit here. And we have not had a daily candle close up above this 20 EMA here, and this is going to be in purple. So we have not gotten there yet. It's important that we get up above that and then try to challenge this 50. So today's candle close is going to be extremely important for Bitcoin. All right, if we see rejection off that, most likely we're going to get pushed to the downside. And what I'm looking for, guys, in terms of something bullish here, what we would want is if we did retrace to go down in this area, set a higher low, and then try to come back up here and test some of these higher levels and then dig our way out of it, just like this, right? Now, some of the bearish things that I have to point out to us, okay? So we're trading below the 20 still. We're trading below the 50. We're trading below the 100 and the 200. And I spent a lot of time the other night, as this is something I've studied for a long time, but I really paid a lot of attention and dug into everything that I could find about the 200 EMA. And me being truthful with you guys, everything that I read, you should never take a long position when you are trading below the 20 SMA or EMA on a daily time frame. So basically, if you're taking a position down in the area that we're at now, hoping that this is the bottom, okay, that's a risk that you're taking. But according to all the books, all the textbooks, everything that I've read, technical analysis, you do not want to be longing underneath the 200 EMA. All right, you want to have support on top of that before. So basically what the books would be saying here is that you would still not want to take a long position until we're actually having daily candle closes or a daily candle close back up above 38,576. All this is a risky area that you're, trying to play here, trying to play a bounce out of here. So if you are doing that, I would definitely have a stop loss down at about 28,999, right in that area. But we have to realize that the trend has been down here, guys. Here's our high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. And this could just be another lower high unless we get some of that follow through, which we're going to need. All right, so it's good to see that we had some volume coming in. It's good to see we've made these nice moves. But for real, this could have just cooled off the relative strength, and then the bears jump back in and push us down farther to, to that $29,000 level. So we have to be careful now. If you're shorting, that's what you're looking for because you're below the 200 EMA, and that's what it talks about. So if you're longing, you want to be up above it. Do you see this entire bull market, guys? Look at this entire bull market. We were trading up above this 200 EMA until we lost it. We back tested it. We saw rejection, and now we've just been getting pushed to the downside. So anyone right now is saying this would be a good spot to open a long position. I think it's like opening a long position basically on the edge of a cliff. Yes, you may step forward and you'll continue walking and you never fall off that cliff, but we're so close right now to a potential big move that could be to the downside to 24,000 or 20,000. And in this space, I think risk management is the most important thing over making gains. Okay, you have to manage your risk. But take a look, guys. I did this last time. If we flip this on its head, what would this look like here? We're up above the 200. The 100's about to cross over the 200. We're up above the 20, up above the 50. We're getting ready to cross over the 50 on the relative strength. This would be looking like we potentially are going to break through that 29,847 and go to 24,022 right here, right? Doesn't that look like it? And I guess these are the things you have to be aware of here, guys. Look, this was our entire bull market here. Now we've almost had that rounded bottom pushed here. And then could you see something taking place like this? So we battle with this another time or two, but then it just rockets out of there. And that would actually be the inverse. So let's flip it back. And you see that where that could potentially put us. So for me, guys, I can't tell you, if you're a hodler, dollar cost average, that's a different story. But for going long on a trade right now, I don't think we have the confirmation for it on a daily time frame. If you're scalping or whatever, that's different. But we're talking about a daily time frame, just jumping back in right now. I think it's a tough spot to do that. I definitely want more confirmation. I want to be trading up above these moving averages, not below them, but that's just me. So next we're going to take a look at Ethereum real quick. And if you get some from this, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It really helps us out. It's always appreciated. So for Ethereum here, guys, we're basically trading our low at about 1,700, and then we'll say about 2,500. So we've been ranging in between that area right now. We're right in the middle of it here. And what you can see is Ethereum's been ahead or a little bit stronger than Bitcoin because we actually have had daily candle closes back up above the 200 EMA, which is a good thing. But we have to see if we're going to get follow through, because right now, guys, the volume's not that impressive. This could just be a move where we go up even, say, a little bit higher here. We go up into this area, and then we get pushed down, and we'll have to see if we find that higher low and then try to make that higher high, or if it's just going to be something to where we just continue to get pushed to the downside. So we go up here, we see a rejection, and then we're back down testing this area again. And if we test this area again, most likely we're probably going to break down through it. So we do have to be aware. But, we also have the thing going for us here, like this bullish engulfing candle. That was nice, but it just didn't come on the most volume, I guess, is what's a little bit concerning to me. You would think that we'd have a massive candle in that area with this bullish engulfing. I mean, even last time here, guys, this was a longer candle that we just had than this one, but that was on higher volume. Okay, even this bottom here, higher volume. This bottom here, higher volume. And this one's just been a little bit weaker here. So, this could be where the bears are just patiently waiting and stalking this lower high, and then they're going to jump in and try to drive it to the downside. Guys, anything's possible in this space. What I'm trying to tell you is be careful, because we're not in a confirmed uptrend. We're not cruising up and we're up above the 20 EMA, the 50, the 100, 200, and we're just having retracements. This is completely opposite. We're having lower highs coming in on the daily time frame right here. High. Lower high, lower high, lower high. This could just be another lower high, and we have to be aware of that. Okay? So the bullish case would be we find some area up here, we pull back, set a higher low, and then try to make another move for a higher high. Okay? Ethereum right now for the technicals. On the 1-day time frame, we're looking at a 6 sell, a 10 neutral, and a 10 buy. Oscillator 0 sell, 9 neutral, and a 2 buy. Moving averages 6 sell, 1 neutral, and an 8 buy. So what we have here for the moving averages, the 10, the 20, so the shorter terms are going to be buys, and then we have our 50 and our 100, which are going to be sells, and then our 200 is going to be a buy. So Ethereum's got a lot going on here, guys. It's a really mixed bag. Relative strength is just now breaking above 50, so we'd want to see that continue if we can go up and challenge some of those higher levels. I'm just saying be careful in this spot if you're trying to, take a long position right now. Okay, just be careful. Next one we're going to get into is Litecoin. If you're here for Litecoin, want me to keep doing this, guys, the main reason I haven't is because take a look at this chart. I mean, we don't have anything going on here. We've broke down below the 200 EMA. The 20 EMA has been riding us right now as overhead resistance. The 50, the 100's about to cross down through the 200. So this is just not a pretty area. We haven't had a lot of volume here. Relative strengths below 50. So overall, I would just be careful. I wouldn't be going into a long position. Guys, like we've talked about, if you're just a hodler, that's a whole different story. If we pull out a fib here and see how far we have retraced. Let's see. So we've retraced back down to the 50, a hot spot area. If we do go down to that 0.618, would potentially be at about $75 there. And maybe that's an area where we can find a bottom, which would also correlate with this little spot here, which could be support. But still, guys, sticky spot to be jumping in to position right now. Okay? So Litecoin, guys, support, we got to hold roughly about 105. Overhead resistance, we'd have to get back through about 146. But right now, still just in this really nasty downtrend. And until we start seeing higher highs and higher lows, it's a tough spot to take a position. Okay, if we get into GLASSNODE here, first we're going to take a look at Bitcoin. You can see new addresses. It's a -4. Active address almost -4. We'll look at the addresses with the balance. I also want to point out the exchange inflow volume. That's almost -14. Exchange deposits a -5. Exchange outflow volume is going to be about a -30. And our exchange withdrawal is going to be a -4. So if we take a look at the balances, we're going to start with 10,000. And this will just give us a little bit of a clue to what the bigger whales are doing here. So if we zoom in and take a look here, guys, we actually have had a little bit of buying pressure here. So yesterday, when we were talking about this, or the day before, it was more so flat. So we did get a buyer. Let's see here. We were at 84 before, and now we're at 87. So you can see there's 3 more addresses now with 10,000 or more. So that's nice to at least see us starting to move to the upside a little bit there. If we get to 1,000 or more, we are rounding a little bit. So we basically have a short-term uptrend that's taking place right now, guys, but we still have to be careful because these are the areas where you can have a little short-term uptrend and then we can get smashed back to the downside there. So just be careful, but it's nice to see our ultimate low. We're at 2,137, and then right now we're at 2,162 with 1,000 or more. If we get into 100 or more, ultimate low, we got to about 16,000. And then today we are sitting at 16,034. Just really moving sideways here, ranging. If we get into 10 or more, we'd call this a rounded bottom and a little bit of a short-term uptrend that's been taking place here. Our ultimate low, 146,198. And right now we're at 146,932. And then if we do 1. So get a little bit more of the retail here. So at the bottom, 792,000. And then right now we're at 799,000 right now. 1 or more. Okay, now if we take a look at Ethereum, I want to go through the Ethereum addresses quick. And guys, I want to do this as fast and efficient as I can for you. So if you like that, just put yes down low or a thumbs up, anything like that. So if we take a look at 10,000 or more, this one here, you can see price has been going down and the whales have actually still been increasing right here. So we're at 1,203 addresses with 10,000 or more. And that's really never dropped down, even as price was dropping down. They obviously don't want to get rid of their ETH. Okay, 1,000 or more, that's just running flat for us. 100 or more, same deal, flat, no confirmation. And if we do 10 or more, so that is the retail aspect of it here. Ultimate low was 261,000. Right now we're at 266,000. Then if we do 1 or more, up here we have 1,249,000 people with 1 Ethereum right there. And this has really just been climbing even as price was going down. So, guys, it's a tough spot. And that's, I guess, the main thing that I want to tell you is just be careful. If you're really thinking about a long position, I think there's better opportunities where you can set yourself up for the risk to reward where it's not as extreme. Because if we do end up losing these support levels, it could be one of those waterfall dumps and you don't want to lose another 30%. You know what I'm saying? So I would just be careful, be patient. God bless each and every one of you. Take care, my friend.